The term covert contract refers to an unspoken quid pro quo agreement. These are unspoken expectations that you create internally but never voice externally to the other person or people that you are in connection with. And I want to make it very clear that plenty of people who are not narcissists do this, but with narcissists, you get trained to expect certain behavior in response to your behavior the majority of the time, or in fact, all of the time that you are dealing with a narcissist. For example, you thinking that if you do a certain thing, such as prepare dinner or take care of the kids, then when the narcissist comes home from work, they won't be edgy and agitated, or thinking that if you let the narcissist do something they want to do, that then you'll be allowed to do something you want to do, or that they'll help you or participate in something that you want to do. These covert contracts have non-consciously been programmed into the way that you think about and deal with the narcissist. They are informing the decisions that you are making about the narcissist and about the relationship that you have with the narcissist as a whole. Common examples of covert contracts that you have in terms of your relationship with the narcissist is thinking that if you find the right therapist, then the narcissist will change. Or if you learn to identify what sort of childhood trauma caused the narcissist to behave this way, then the narcissist will be able to heal and value you and your relationship. And the idea that if you can learn to speak the narcissist language or to behave in ways that the narcissist appreciates and values, that this will prolong the love bombing stage or even convince the narcissist to stop being a narcissist altogether. And a lot of people who are facing divorce or custody cases with a narcissist will make covert contracts with themselves, and ultimately, this hinders their ability from winning the overall case. Examples of this type of thinking are that if you give up X, Y, and Z, or don't ask for X, Y, and Z, then the narcissist will automatically give you A, B, and C, which is what you really value. And this type of thinking hinders you from really looking at the reality of the relationship and the entirety of how this relationship and ultimately the ruling of the court case will impact you and your children's lives altogether. There are really two main issues with covert contracts, specifically when it comes to dealing with a narcissist. And the first one is that you assume people think like you. And in this case, you assume that the narcissist thinks like you. You assume that the narcissist will see your viewpoint, will understand your position, will give in to what you want because it's what you would do. Ultimately, you are assuming that the narcissist is operating on the golden rule, which is that they would treat others how they would treat themselves, or how they want to be treated by others themselves. This in itself is problematic, but it's especially debilitating to people who make these covert contracts with themselves because they don't understand that the narcissist will never treat them the way that they were designed to be treated, and in fact, won't ever see the problem with the way that they are treating other people at all. And the second problem covert contracts cause when you are in a relationship with a narcissist is that it actually deepens the trauma bond. It allows you to reason your way to prolonging abuse because you believe this contract will somehow be upheld and fulfilled by the narcissist. Again, this is a contract that you have made by yourself. You have no buy-in from the narcissist. The narcissist has not agreed to uphold this contract, and yet you believe that somehow holding on to this false sense of hope or security with the covert contract will ultimately get you the result that you want. You do not account for the narcissist's desires, their wishes, their personality, their future, or the fact that the narcissist is right now demonstrating, they are showing you who they are in this very moment. Along with these two main problems with covert contracts and dealing with narcissists is that there are multiple second level effects of having these covert contracts made. And one of those is that this further dims your voice. By coming to this agreement within yourself and haggling about the situation with yourself instead of voicing your concerns to the narcissist to get buy-in, you don't do that. You don't get buy-in from the narcissist. You have these internal dialogues with yourself. You come to agreement amongst your own self internally, and this normalizes the lack of communication between you and the narcissist. And you do this because you know that if you were to bring this up with the narcissist, that you would have an argument. They would never agree to your terms of this contract, and in fact, they would somehow twist it to turn it on you as to either something that you could never uphold or accuse you of not upholding the contract at some point. And again, this prolongs the amount of time that you stay in the relationship because you will not have these conflicts that highlight how toxic the relationship actually is. You normalize stuffing your feelings finding comfort in the manipulative tricks that you are using on yourself and that keep you further hooked in this abusive pattern. So the title of this video was Spotting or Identifying the Covert Contracts Made with the Narcissist. So how do you do that? How do you spot them? If you are having a conversation with yourself that you are not having with the narcissist, then there is a good chance that this is a covert contract. And just once again, healthy people can do this as well. This video is specifically speaking about covert contracts made with a narcissist, but plenty of healthy people make these covert contracts with themselves and then hope for a healthy relationship when there has been no healthy communication. So you are either trying to get something from the narcissist that either they do not want to give you, they are unable to give you, or they are willingly withholding that thing because they know of its importance to you. The thing about covert contracts is that it creates a method of thinking. It creates neurological pathways that our brain will now be programmed to think down even when we are not with a narcissist. I've mentioned this in many of my other videos that there are habits and patterns of behavior that you do outside of your relationship with the narcissist because you've been programmed to do those things in the environment that you have with the narcissist. So even when that environment changes, you don't just snap out of those habits or give up those addictions or patterns of behavior. Covert contracts is one of these things that will absolutely carry into other relationships. You stop learning how to advocate for yourself, you stop having healthy conflict, you don't learn how to set boundaries with other people, and also how to just simply say the word no. So a secondary point of doing this video for me is not just to help people who are still in relationship with narcissists to understand what these covert contracts are and if they are making them or not, but I also want to speak to the people who are out of the relationship with the narcissist and may not even realize that they do this with other people in their lives. Covert contracts keep you from living authentically, they keep you from experiencing healthy communication and true connection with other people. If there is something that you want to do, you need to learn how to ask for it or state it in a healthy manner, in a clear, concise manner through your communication with them. Just to recap here, there are two things that I want you to take away from every single video that you watch on my channel. The first is that this is a spiritual battle. If you are dealing with a narcissist, this battle is either won or lost in the spirit realm first, before you ever get a court verdict or any type of other thing from the natural world. And two, you have not because you've asked not. If you want a real connection with somebody, that means that you need to show up authentically as yourself. You need to show up authentically for yourself. This means that you need to be vulnerable and know how to have a healthy conversation with somebody, even if it makes you uncomfortable. You need to know that that short-term sacrifice of feeling that uncomfortableness will lead you to the ultimate goal that you want, which is a true connection. You need to learn how to have boundaries so that you're able to build, protect, and keep the kind of life that you truly want to have, not just the one that the world is going to give to you. So if you find yourself making covert contracts even after you have left the narcissist, then I want you to understand that you have not because you've asked not. You have and not asked yourself why you are unable to have these conversations out loud with the person or people that you are in relationship with now. And if you are still in relationship with the narcissist and you find your life riddled with these kind of covert contracts, I want you to really look at the root of why you are not having these conversations. And then understand that the root of all of these reasons are fear. None of them are rooted in love. If you are afraid of the narcissist's reaction, if you are afraid of facing the truth that the narcissist will not reciprocate or respect your needs and boundaries, then from that place you can start looking at the entirety of the relationship and what it is that you truly want out of this. Covert contracts allow you to be comfortable in lying to yourself. And when you lie to yourself, you can never be honest with other people because all external connections flow from the connection, the relationship that you have with yourself first. So if you're ready to break covert contracts and the trauma bond once and for all, then I want you to text the word DETOX to 512-677-9322 to see if you are qualified to join my Narcissistic Detox Intensive, in which I guarantee these things to happen. It is time for you to meet your true and authentic self and to start showing up in the world from that place. And if you have just divorced a narcissist or in the process of divorcing a narcissist, then I want you to watch this video next that describes the 5 drastic changes of behavior that the narcissist will do once the divorce is finalized.